Angel Reese has had a tough few days, facing rejection and indifference from various people around her. It seems like everywhere she turns, she's being met with cold shoulders and distant attitudes, making the situation even harder for her to handle. First, we discovered that coach Cheryl Reeve, who isn't exactly a favorite around here, flat out rejected Angel at the draft. She was like, "Nope, we're not picking you." Honestly, I'm not sure that was the smartest choice, especially given the lack of success from the player she chose instead. But hey, she definitely gave Angel the classic Dikembe Mutombo finger wag. And now, another person who's passed on Angel is none other than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin has been unstoppable recently, dominating the Seattle Storm and outplaying the Fever's Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull. She's been outshining everyone on the court. Here's the big news. French Olympic star Gabby Williams has signed with the team, marking her return to the WNBA. Gabby is a defensive powerhouse, someone the Fever could have definitely benefited from. Interestingly, just a few days ago, Angel made an attempt to recruit Gabby, but it completely backfired. Now that the gold medal game is over, Angel reached out to Gabby saying, "Hey, want to team up with the Chicago Sky?" Gabby Williams recently became a part of the Seattle Storm, but what's really fascinating is how she ended up there. Back in 2022, the Seattle Storm acquired her through a trade deal with the LA Sparks, marking a significant move that has now come full circle with her joining the team. That season, she was a key player, starting every game and contributing 7.5 points and 5 rebounds on average. Pretty impressive, right? She also earned a spot on the all-defensive second team, which was crucial in helping the Storm reach the WNBA semifinals, even though they eventually lost to the Aces. Moving on to last year, she rejoined the Storm mid-season after recovering from a concussion she got while playing in France. Unfortunately, she then suffered a stress fracture, which is never easy. Before that, she managed to play in 10 games, averaging 8.4 points and 3.8 rebounds. With the Olympics happening in France this year, Williams opted to skip the start of the WNBA season to prepare with the French national team. She almost led them to a gold medal. Her shot to tie the game at the end would have counted if her foot hadn't been on the line. Despite that, she was incredible, leading France with 152 points and averaging 5.8 assists, including a team-best 19 assists. They were so close to ending Team USA's 60-game Olympic winning streak. And as for Angel Reese, instead of joining the Sky, she's making her return to the WNBA to join the playoff chase. Crazy, right? The Seattle Storm just experienced a major reality check after their game against the Fever. The way the Fever played left me thinking, could they actually be on a strong path toward making it to the WNBA Finals? It's starting to seem like they might be serious contenders this season. When you consider the competition, particularly with Caitlin Clark joining the Fever, it feels like they could challenge nearly any team. Well, except for the Aces, who are really stacked. But let's be real, the Aces didn't go up against this version of Caitlin Clark earlier in the season. They faced the Fever during a rough patch in their schedule. It'll be interesting to watch how things unfold. Plus, there's another layer to the story with Cheryl Reeve also declining to bring in Angel Reese. Reese has been making waves as she moves from being a standout college player to becoming a true WNBA All-Star. While some might debate this, it doesn't really matter. She was chosen as the 7th overall pick by the Chicago Sky in April, while the Minnesota Lynx made a trade to avoid drafting her. Reeve decided not to draft Reese because she didn't think Reese would fit well with the team's playing style. This makes me wonder if Cheryl Reeve is more focused on having LGBTQ players on her team, given that she's part of that community. Reeve believed that adding Reese would interfere with Sylvia Fowles' role, so she went with Elisa Peely instead. Peely is only getting about 6.4 minutes per game, while Reese is almost a regular starter. There's a lot of talk about whether Reeve should have made that choice or not. Meanwhile, it seems like Cardoza is just observing while Reeve takes the lead. It looks like the Chicago Sky is primarily focused on achieving that double-double goal. Honestly, if I were a fan, I'd feel somewhat disappointed. Reeve also had the honor of coaching Team USA at the Olympics, where she won a gold medal. But here's the twist. Reeve watched as Caitlin Clark, Reese, and their team beat Team USA at the WNBA All-Star Game last month, handing the Americans their only loss of the summer. Crazy, right? If Reeve continues as Team USA's head coach, it might be hard for her to leave Reese off the Olympic roster for the 2028 Games in LA. Until then, she might be second-guessing her decisions as Reese keeps shining. Can you believe that Cheryl Reeve actually gave up her position just to keep Angel Reese off the team? That's a bold move, but I'm not sure it was the smartest one. We've talked about how Angel Reese's stats might be a bit overhyped, but you'd think the Lynx would at least give her a shot, right? But no, Reeve didn't want her anywhere near the squad. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Cheryl Reeve. I also believe that Reeve, alongside Dawn Staley and Gino Auriemma, intentionally left Caitlin Clark off the Olympic WNBA team. Clark deserved a spot over Chelsea Gray or Diana Taurasi, especially considering her impressive stats during the Olympics. It seems Cheryl Reeve has her own agenda and hasn't treated Caitlin Clark fairly. She didn't appear to be supportive of Angel Reese either. Caitlin Clark has recently fueled rumors about her basketball career, especially concerning her possible participation in the Unrivaled League, a new league created by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. Clark's happy and excited attitude made people think she might want to join the top league, but some still wonder if she really needs to play there. Some think that Nike and the WNBA might want to keep her from participating, possibly by offering financial incentives due to concerns about the risks linked to more playing time. The Unrivaled League's focus on 3v3 basketball might not match Clark's interests, indicating that she could turn down their offer. Critics have also questioned the intentions behind the league, noting that its owners had previously opposed Clark's inclusion in Team USA. This makes people wonder if their interest in her and her fans is real. Even though people are excited about women starting their own league, some are still not sure if this excitement is truly genuine. Clark's abilities are seen as better suited for the WNBA, where she has already made a significant impression. Many within the community hope she avoids the Universal League, believing her basketball career has a brighter future within the well-established WNBA structure. The Sky suffered another hard defeat, and it seems like they're really struggling. It's beginning to look like they might be giving up. I haven't seen a team give up so clearly as the Sparks seem to be right now. Derek Amy and her team have appeared completely disinterested lately, even showing a lack of engagement during the All-Star game. Following today's defeat, the Sky are now at 11-16, just a game and a half ahead of the Atlanta Dream, who are on a 2-game winning streak and trying to turn their season around. While it's not certain that the Sky will miss the playoffs, it's certainly a possibility. For the Mercury, Kat Copper had an off night, shooting only 2 of 11 from the field, which was surprising as she didn't keep shooting. On the bright side, Brittany Griner played as expected, and Diana Taurasi had a decent game, although she might have done even better than her 2 of 8 shooting. Billings made a strong debut with 13 points, and Sue Sutton also played well. The Mercury had a solid performance overall and could have won by a larger margin. but the Sky made things competitive at times. The Sky managed to narrow the deficit to 7 points at one stage, but the Mercury quickly responded, pushing their lead back up to 22. The game was a roller coaster, with the Mercury's advantage dropping to 12, then surging to 20 again before the final buzzer. It was one of those frustrating nights for the Mercury where they just couldn't maintain their rhythm. Every time the Sky inched closer, the Mercury would momentarily regroup, refocus, and go on a scoring run, only for their momentum to falter shortly after. On the Sky's side, Kennedy Carter looked physically prepared, but she struggled to truly find her place within the game's flow. The team's biggest hurdle was their three-point shooting, which was nothing short of disastrous, 0 for 14 from beyond the arc. This wasn't an isolated incident either. The team has a well-documented history of struggling with three-pointers, almost as if the three-point line doesn't even exist for them. It's astonishing how a team can play an entire game without sinking a single three-pointer, a stat that undoubtedly contributed to their loss. Rachel Banham faced yet another challenging game, unable to find her rhythm, adding to the Sky's woes. While Kennedy Carter had her moments, especially on the offensive end, where she did some solid work in the paint, Cardoso is beginning to show glimmers of potential. She had an efficient night, hitting 6 out of her 7 shots from the field, though her rebounding skills still leave much to be desired. On the other hand, Angel Reese's performance is a bit more complex. Plus-minus stats alone don't capture the full picture of her game. Yes, she managed to knock down a crucial shot late in the game against the Aces, but overall, she had a tough night. However, there were flashes of brilliance, particularly in the fourth quarter, where she went on a stretch of consistently making jump shots. Reese also collected 10 offensive rebounds, showcasing her relentless effort on the boards. Whether the current record for rebounds belongs to Sylvia Fowles or Tina Charles, Angel Reese is on a promising path to surpass it. With an average of around 35 minutes of play each game, she's likely to secure 6 or 7 defensive boards simply by positioning herself smartly on the court. Her tenacity and court awareness will undoubtedly keep her on track to break records and make a significant impact for her team. The Sky are in a difficult spot. They have some of the best offensive rebounders in the league, but they're surrounded by players who struggle to score. It's a challenging situation, especially for Kennedy Carter. She's talented, but it's hard for her to stand out when the team around her can't consistently put up points.